Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody on the call. I see we have several people. The meeting starts in about 7 minutes, but I wanted to join you here briefly and um, just say hello whilst we are getting ready to start with the presentation from Brookhouse. My name is Che Amoako. You could call me Uncle Che. And I am going to be helping moderating today's session. And so when Brookhouse is ready, we will bring them on. Now, as you have seen already, first of all, let me give some shout outs to Angel, Joshua, Desmarie. And then I know Ronnie Osafo, JC, Michael Asante, hello. Happy to see all of you. And I see there's several of you on the call already. I'm going to bring some of you on stage just so we can have a conversation just before we start. Just want to find out a little bit more about you. But before we do so, I want to give special recognition to Mrs. Georgette McCarthy. Mrs. Georgette McCarthy has been very helpful in working with Study International to make sure that Brookhouse is able to present to you. So, Mrs. McCarthy, thank you very much. We also like to thank Mr. Victor Tekwete for helping us arrange for today to happen. I don't know if it's Mrs. McCarthy on with us at the moment. Because if Ms. McCarthy is on, we would like to invite her onto the screen. But whilst we're waiting, we'll probably do that later when we start. But so for now, I know Michael Asante is. Oh, Carolyn just joined. Hello, Carolyn. Carolyn, how are you? Please stand by. We start in about 5 minutes. First of all, let me just bring you on, just get you set up, make sure your screen is showing. So Carolyn, here we go. So Carolyn, I'm inviting you onto the screen, onto the stage. Vine Christian School. Okay. Hello there.
Hello, hi everybody.
Hello. Well, so could you pull up your screen? Just make sure you're ready to go at 9. And then I just want to spend a few minutes just engaging some of our young friends. I'm going to bring one of them onto the screen.
Okay. Do you want me to share or you'll share?
No, you're sharing. Just want to make sure you're set. So if you want to just test it, so we're good to go when you're ready. Michael Asante, we're going to have you on the screen. I sent you an invitation. So Michael, if you want to go ahead and accept it, so you could join us on the screen. Just want to chit chat with you whilst we're waiting to get started. So there you go. Michael has accepted, and Michael should be appearing on the screen shortly. All right. So Carolyn, your presentation is in good shape. So let's just keep it and just stand by. I'm going to bring Michael to the stage, and we'll talk to Michael briefly before we start. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Well, you are on the screen and all your friends can see you. Thank you for joining us today. How is it like doing online study because of Corona?
It's been okay.
Just okay?
Yes.
What do you like most about doing online study?
The fact that you get to, there isn't really much about doing online study. Just like when you're in class, it's nicer than when you're alone in the house.
Good. So today's session, what would you like to know? What are you hoping to learn from today's session? One thing you're hoping to learn from today's session?
Maybe about the university and why it should be good to go there.
What would you like to be when you grow up?
An engineer and a footballer. So.
An engineer and a footballer. Why? Why do you want to be an engineer and a footballer?
Well, since I like maths and I also like science, chemistry. So
Good. What position do you play?
I like striker.
You're a striker. So tell me, who is better, Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo.
You are correct for 100 points, my friend. All right. All right. So, Michael, we're going to get you off the screen and get Miss Carolyn ready to start. So thank you very much. So stand by and enjoy the presentation, okay?
Okay.
All right. Is Mrs. McCarthy, is Mrs. McCarthy with us? Mrs. McCarthy, if you're here with us, could you just type in the comment section? What about Mr. Teklete? Oh, she's not. Okay. Thanks, Portia. Well, thank you. And if Mrs. You could just pass the word on to Mrs. McCarthy that a big thank you from ComStudy International. So we are ready to go. Carolyn Blackshaw from Brookhouse will present for about 20 minutes and she will pause about 10 minutes towards the end of the session so you can ask questions. So please give Ms. Carolyn all your attention. Carolyn, please take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Good morning, Vine Christian School. It's really, really lovely to be able to speak to you. And thank you for Michael for a bit of information and me getting to know what you would like to know on the presentation. I'd like to be able to cover that for you. I also want to thank Shay and Adele for and ComStudy International for allowing me this opportunity to talk to you. So the first slide then, well, this is Brookhouse. This is where it all began. This is the old building, historical building, where the school started 53 years ago. And this now would be the first place you would visit if you arrive, because you go through these doors to reception. And at the moment, that is where the restaurant is. But we're currently looking to change the restaurant as we're converting the hotel. We're based in a little town, a very traditional market town called Market Harborough. Okay, and that town is not far from London. It's in the Midlands region. And if you've watched any programmes that were filmed in the UK, this is a very typical looking church and old buildings that are around in these antique towns. There are modern bits as well, so don't worry, it's not all historical buildings. We are an international school, so we recruit from lots of different countries, which I think are demonstrated here on this map, and including Ghana, here is, and West Africa. The main campus, so Brookhouse on the first photograph, is here, okay, and our under 16 accommodation is based on the campus, and we have our own medical centre here. The town of Market Harborough has Brookhouse as a large footprint on there. So all these blue dots are buildings that are to do with us. So whether that's teaching facilities, accommodation, like the girls' accommodation here, it's all on, it's very accessible, very easy to walk around. Okay, everything is, you don't need to be buying travel cards if you're at Brookhouse. Just to clarify, because I heard someone say about university, so we are a college, we are pathways through to university, but at the lower end, we would look like the Vine Christian School, because we take students from the age of 11 through to 19. So at the upper end, we've got older students than I think go to your school at the moment. If I'm correct, I think you take students up to the age of 15 and then they would progress somewhere else. At the lower end of the school, we're teaching Key Stage 3, which is the British curriculum. And we also have GCSE, so you may have heard of those. And at the upper end, in terms of the sixth form and passing through to university, it's the A-levels and the foundation programme. We have our own pre-sessional English, which isn't really appropriate for applicants from Ghana, but it's just to know that it's there and it's available. And on the photo here, you can just see a style of one of our classrooms, and that's our business studies lecturer. This slide is really to show you our student council. It was nearly 2 years ago now, and it's an event, Show Racism the Red Card, that actually started on the football pitch when the footballers were saying, you know, keep racism off the pitch. And it became an event each year, a special day, and our student council used it to gather money for a charity cause, and to wear red that day you had to pay them a charitable donation. It's really so that you can see all the range of different nationalities. In that picture we've got Cambodians, we've got Angolans, Nigerians, Tanzania, US, Albania, British. So you'll see that there are so many different nationalities. You truly do have a global experience. Last year we had 58 different nationalities. This is the boarding house, the common room for the girls, and this photo was taken Chinese New Year when they were eating Chinese food. Oops. And the boys here, well, why have they got pizza on their bedroom floor? Well, it's a single room, so you're getting an idea of what the rooms and what the furnitures look like. That's one of the smaller rooms there, although we can't see beyond the pizza coming this way. During lockdown, which is finished now in the UK, so all the students are back into the classroom. So I was interested to hear what Michael was saying about working remotely. All our students back in the classroom, but during the lockdown, we did lots of things like house quizzes, and these are the younger students, and they had won a quiz. They were a quiz team of themselves, and part of the winnings was a pizza delivery, and that's what they'd got in front of them. All these pictures really are on our social media, and I know that you're listening to lots of presentations from lots of different organisations. So I've tried to break up the presentation with photos to make it a little bit more interesting for you. This again is on our social media. It is a video. I'm not going to play it now. We had some snow about 4 weeks ago, and you know, all our students who are from countries that don't typically see snow were very excited, and they were playing snowballs, and this was actually during lockdown, so it was outside each of the accommodation. You saw groups of students who were in their own bubble having a go and having a play in the snow. These boys here are representing our under 16. They won the English Schools Football Association Cup for the 3rd year running, but they had to wait a little while to get their awards. So they got this at the start of this academic year instead of the end of the season. This board that they've been photographed against is used quite often actually, and we use the clubs ones as well, the football clubs. As part of our football academy, we will be doing, or we do, media training. So students become accustomed, or players become accustomed, to being interviewed as if they were being interviewed by journalists, giving a rundown of the match in front of a board like this with the sponsors, and they have training in order to be able to say the right things, you know, and be correct in what they say. And we're teaching our players to be very aware of things that they put into social media or Twitter today, leave them this footprint that they may not be as proud of when they're a famous footballer in the future. So we're explaining to them how to be very alert and very careful about how they deal with the media and their public face. So I said that the college has started 53 years ago, and that was the first group photo. You'll know now that it's a lot bigger and it's a lot jollier, and they're not wearing gowns for the future ones. But the last photo for last year was a pixelated photograph that we put together of all the students from their student ID card, because they weren't allowed, as part of the COVID restrictions at the time, to get together and be in a whole group. So 53 years we've been running as an international college. It's a proud tradition that we have, and recruiting students from a huge range of countries and cultures. We're very proud of the fact that we have high quality tuition, and we carefully monitor your academic achievements as well as your social welfare. The social welfare is important for us to keep an eye on with you by, you know, being alongside you and being friendly, and the level of that social welfare and caring depends on your age. The older you are, the more hands-off we are. The younger you are, the more we're nurturing you. Because it's 24/7 residential if you require it. We are working towards getting you through to university admission, whether that's in the UK or in a different country and worldwide. We have worldwide examples and advice to give students. And we also, if you choose to be a part of the Football Academy, then you will be guided into the world of football if you are showing talent. We can't promise students a full career as a Premier League player, but what we can promise you is that if you have got talent, you will be given a stage in which to showcase that talent, and you will be placed at the area where all the scouts, all the clubs, all the agents, everybody who is looking for the future talent is looking at Brookhouse. And you are very much treated as an individual, and therefore it's a truly bespoke education package that you're getting with us. So this is our principle. It's co-educational, so don't think that you can just do academics, or you can do academics and football. And the Football Academy has girl players as well as boy players. So we're going to work very hard on your careers counselling and giving you ideas on how you can actually play to your strengths and choose the right programme for you to do at university. If you're a footballer, we encourage you to have joint objectives, both academic and your footballing objectives also. So you're going to be in a small class. The class sizes are between 8 and 12, and therefore you're going to have a high level of individual attention, and there's a high staff ratio to students. Language study programs isn't necessarily relevant for you. We're going to have close communications with your parents and guardians, so we give feedback on your progression. Excuse me. And there are lots of co-curricular activities. So whether that's going to the gym or the running club or Zumba or baking or cooking or drama or music, all those things are available as part of the whole package of fees. So what does your accommodation look like? Well, these are some of the examples of the accommodation in different houses. And that link there was to show a virtual tour of the accommodation, but it takes quite a lot of time and it doesn't work very well when I'm doing a live presentation over the internet as well as trying to run another film. So, where are we based? Where is this Market Harbour, this small market town that I told you about? Well, it's here, okay, just there in the centre of England, not quite the centre, but almost. And it's very, very accessible to these major cities that are around. And also London is 55 minutes by train. Some photos here. Another snowy one for you to see. Sorry, it went on. This is the main high street. So when I showed you the plan of the town, the main street with all the different dots which belong to our buildings are all off this road. And this becomes one of your corridors to and from school and to and from your academic classrooms. This canal here is near the girls' accommodation. A lot of our students go running and walking around there. And this is the train station, which is often the first thing that you might see when you visit Market Harbour. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a drink. Okay, I have been talking rather a long time today. Okay, so Brookhouse College Football Academy. I think this boy is one of our Tanzanian boys, and we're working towards making sure that you have an academy that's accessible, that's as professional and as close to a professional football academy. And what we mean by a professional football academy is those that are linked to the major teams. So we're mirroring what they do. And Istvan is our academy manager. And within that academy, we've got a squad structure of under 19s, under 16s and under 14s. And within those, we have the different categories, as you would if you were in the Premier League teams. They're all categorised as well, right through from the second, the first and the elite squads. And what students are working to do is they come at the first instance when they're younger and they're moving through, and they're aiming to eventually go all the way up to the elite category. So at each of these areas, whether it's the development squad, a performance squad or elite, you're working to develop, okay, right along. At the development, the entry point, it's develop, enjoy and progress. We want you to enjoy yourself. Brookhouse is a very happy college. You know, our students are always very smiley and very happy, and they soon come and tell us if there's something concerning them. So enjoyment is something that we thread right the way through. So performance, whether they've got to be developing again, progressing and showcase, and the elite is about competing, showcasing and developing. Okay. And this is a video. Can you see the video? Can I have somebody tell me, can you see the video running? Brookhouse is in the bottle green coloured strip here. And this is this is an away game and one of our pitches. No, that's one of our pitches there. This is the 4G pitch. We have 6 pitches. This is the clubhouse in the background. And we have some grass pitches as well. This is another of our areas. Okay. The final clip.
Let's look at this again.
This one here.
We're still playing a replay at this moment. We came back to live action. Here's the crossfield ball.
Okay, so I'm just going to move that forward or else I'll run out of time. The main reason to give you an idea of that is that when we say we have grass pitches, they really are grass. They're, they're not mud. When we have the AstroTurf pitches, it means that you're getting, if you're a player, you're going to get experience of playing on all these different surfaces. The recruitment I touched on a little bit earlier on, but this is where we recruit from for the football academy in particular. And also some of the clubs that the players have signed for right around the world. So if you are a football fanatic, you will recognise some of these logos. And the one nearest to Brookhouse is, of course, because we're based in Leicestershire, is the Leicester City Club. International appearances. So whilst you are at the school, you may get invited to play for your own country or regionally, and we will work towards structuring the opportunity for you, either by front-loading your studies or having some catch-up. So the World Cup here, we had 3 boys that were selected to go forward for the 30 in the selection team, and 2 actually went into the final and they played in the World Cup. Okay, and I must have been one of the only English people who was watching one of the matches in a hotel in Nigeria and cheering for Nigeria at the time. You'll see Kelvin John, you need to be looking him up and having a look at some of these West Africa players and seeing where they are now. Okay, so Key Stage 3 looks like some of the studies that you would have done when you started at the secondary level of Vine Christian School. And where I think it's more important for you to be thinking is where you may be going when you finish your studies at Vine. So A-levels are a consideration for you, and you can study A-levels at Brookhouse. The tutors have excellent qualifications and considerable experience of working with international students. And as I explained, they're in small classes, so they're working to get you good grades and progress you through the subject. And if you're in a small class of 8 students, it's far easier to put your hand up and ask the teacher a question. These are some of the universities that we've progressed students through to. This is one of our students who did A-levels and then went off to study medicine at the University of Manchester. And this is a video you can find on our social media. It just needs scrolling back to, I think, the 1st of February 2018. But she has now gone to specialise in surgery, and this was the interview from the consultant surgeon after her first surgery that she'd undertaken herself. We're not all about football, so if you're thinking, I want to be studying, and I think Michael said he was interested in the engineering side and possibly chemical engineering. So look at Ikenna here. Ikenna is Nigerian. Look at these excellent grades that he got, A star, A, B. He was a fabulous player as well, and he's gone to the University of Warwick. So it's not all about, football. We always say no grades, no game, because you are at the college, at the school, first and foremost as a student. So we want to combine the two, and we expect, 100% effort on both your football and your studies. So I'm just going to show you these, and then I'm going to ask you to ask me some questions, okay? I'm skipping through the introductory to another program that you may be interested in, which is a bridge from secondary school through to higher education. And this is the foundation, and there are popular pathways that students choose to go through to aid them to get direct admission into the university. Pathway 1 is the STEM pathway, which is science, technology, engineering and maths. You choose 3 subjects, and these are the possible progression through to these undergraduate degrees. And this isn't an exhaustive list, it's an example. Okay? And again, business and finance, very popular. And humanities, the law fits into this, and the psychology and government and politics, history are the areas. Public health, very popular at the moment with students since we've had the pandemic. Communications and media pathway, very popular with our international students if they're interested in international relations. A creative pathway, so your arts, interior design, contour fashion, for instance. And a flexible pathway if you're not too sure about what you want to study. So I think it's appropriate for me to pause this now and take some questions.
If you would like to ask questions, you could type your questions in. You can put your questions in the chat group area, or you could indicate and we could bring you onto the screen. Carolyn, there's a question saying, Adele is asking if you could please touch on the summer school briefly.
Certainly. Okay, I have got some. So in order to do that, I'm just going to go back to the slides. And so summer school is for ages 10 to 17. We can take individuals or groups. So if your group wanted to visit as a whole, that would be great. It would be fabulous. Just to give you a few more photographs of what Market Harborough looks like, and this becomes part of your summer school routine. To give you examples of what you would have as a timetable, there are half-day excursions each week. If you are a returning student or staying more than 2 weeks, then you may be doing Windsor Castle and Eton in London, or the National Justice Museum. So if you're interested in law and how justice was developed and whether it's right justice or not. And new students would go to Warwick Castle and the Harry Potter studio. Harry Potter's still very, very popular with lots of our students. If you were, so half day is usually in the week, and the full day excursions are at the weekend. So again, returning students, the Beatles in Liverpool, some of you would know Liverpool as well for the football clubs there. And Buckingham Palace in London, lovely photograph of our students posing outside Buckingham Palace. Thorpe Park, a theme park, Oxford, and the sightseeing trip of London. Lots of different exciting ideas for you to be able to participate. This is an example of our course and how it runs. This is the academic course for the summer. And if you had English as a foreign language, which you don't in Ghana, you would be doing English as a foreign language. And if you have English as a first language, as yourselves, then it's about British culture and communications. So the serious classes happen in the morning, and then you would have on the Wednesday afternoons, you would have a trip, or you would have fun things in the afternoon if you were doing activities, and then sightseeing or these trips that I talked about earlier in all day on a Saturday or a Sunday. And then in the evening, there's always activities. So we're looking to keep you entertained from breakfast till bedtime. And these are some of the prices. These are the published individual prices for summer camp. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing so I can see the questions and come out of that. Adele, was that enough of an introduction to just having a look, seeing what Yes, that's fine. Thank you, Adele, for giving me the thumbs up there. So I'm happy to take other questions in the last 2 minutes, or you can put them in the text box. I'm happy to share what I have already done. If anyone is interested, we can share materials with you, and we can always do another session with Adele and the guys. They can organise for us to do a smaller and longer session for those that are interested in knowing a lot more. And for me, I think that's almost the time is up. If you have any questions, please do ask me now.
Well, thank you very much, Carolyn. Do we have any questions? Andrew, Africa, Abba, Desmarie, you guys have any questions? Abba is asking, is boarding compulsory?
No, but if you are going to take advantage of everything that's available to you, why go home, and why go and live somewhere else? So it's not compulsory. You could live at homestay or have, we do have day students, but if there's something nice about coming back if you've been at a away match or you've been studying really hard, that somebody else is preparing your meal and doing everything for you. So we can talk more, Abba. I don't know your circumstances, so we can always talk more.
Well, thank you very much, Carolyn. Thank you for the information.
Thank you for organising. You've all been great, so thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. Now, to our friends at Vine, again, Mr. Tekwete, thank you very much. I want all of you, when we log out of here, please immediately join in the next presentation so we can get going. All right, so the first person that gets over there, I'll bring them on screen if they want to. All right, so thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in a minute.
Thank you, guys. Nice to talk to you. Thank you for listening to me today. Bye.
Bye-bye.